Good evening, everyone. Today is Monday. It is June 12th today, and it's time for my daily vlog. So, I just finished eating breakfast. That way is to my kitchen. Just finished eating breakfast, got dressed, and currently I'm just preparing to get ready to go to school. I might actually, no, I don't know. So, this is the view outside my window for any of you who might not have seen. It might be really reflective right now because it's pretty bright in the morning right now. It is about 8 or 9. Let me see if I can. Nope, can't check it off my phone. It's almost 9:30 in the morning right now, so still pretty early in the morning. Yeah. Uh, all right, a little update from my weekend. So I went out for grocery shopping, and then along the way I saw this little bag that was on sale, and it is actually something that I've seen quite a bit. It is actually these little lenses. So this one I have in my hand is a macro lens combined with a wide lens. So I still haven't gone around the hang of using them, but I've tried using one or two. I took some photos of my food actually with one of them. Um, yeah, the really annoying thing is that because they're designed for iPhones, or at least that's what it appears on the case, it doesn't fit too well on my G3, and there's a little ring that appears right around, right there, right there, right there, and right here. Yeah, it's really annoying, but I might just use Adobe or anything like that just to edit out the sides, just to make it look pretty, just to make it look a bit better. But it is actually pretty decent to use. Um, yeah, the main reason I actually got them was because I am actually planning to buy a drone during my time in Korea just for these little vlogs and for hobby purposes, I guess. Um, yeah, and then I thought that the lenses might actually work on the drones, so I bought them. It was only 5,001, so it wasn't actually that bad. Yeah, as for the drones that I'm looking at, I'll just put them on the sides right here. Yeah, they're decently priced, I guess. They're about the ones I've looked at, they're about $50 to $60 each. Yeah, and then that's compared to the other ones that I've looked at, which are some of the main brand ones like DJI. There was one by 3DR, some by ProMark. Yeah, those are really expensive, such as the DJI Mavic Pro is it retails for about 12 or 1300 Canadian, which is about the same in Korean, which is 1.2, 1.3 million. Yeah. Probably the least expensive one I've seen from DJI is the Spark and some old Phantom 3s, which they're the Phantom 3 is a bit big, and I think I might need like a separate router for the light bridge that they use. And then the Spark is still pretty expensive at 620,000. So yeah, I'm going to start off with a low cost drone, about 56,000, just to start myself off because this does really look interesting, and I think with it would really help with the vlog just for different shots. And I just recently found a pretty nice park that I think would do some really nice shots with a drone and with the new camera or the new little lenses I have. So keep a lookout for that. But gonna head out now for the bus. So catch you up later. Now at school, the the camera's a bit low because I put it right below my screen. Actually, I'm gonna actually put the camera back where I put it last week, which is right about here. This is a lot easier to look into. So, yeah, today I actually don't have class right now. It's supposed to be the grade 4's English class, but they're going to the English Center today, so I don't have class for them. So once again, I'll just be doing some cleaning and some other stuff. I thought today that I'd talk about motivation and how to keep working hard, or just motivation. So because I've been here for March, April, May. I'm entering my 4th month now of teaching. It's June right now. I started teaching in March. So I'm pretty sure a lot of my other friends have already experienced something such as like losing motivation or losing drive to do their work, because it does get a bit repetitive. But so I thought I'd talk about how I keep my motivation, or how I keep my drive to work. So one thing I would definitely say first is, I'm just trying to erase something, is that how I stay motivated or how I stay driven to do work is that I try to think of this as not work, but it's as, I guess, a responsibility I have and a duty I have, because I guess it's like professionalism. I get paid to be here, so I should definitely do my best. It's like earning your keep or working. Yeah, earning your keep is definitely the best way I would put it. I get paid to work here. I got paid to fly here, so I should definitely do my best to teach English to all these people, to all these students that I have. Yeah, so that's one of them. And then the other thing, how I stay motivated, is basically this is a hobby to me, or this is something that I'm very interested in. So I guess one of the ways to stay driven is that make it interesting for yourself, as well as your students, because the more interesting it is for you, the more interactive and more fun it will be for you. And the more fun it is for you, or the more fun it is for me, the more fun it is for my students, because I'm more engaged, which equals they're more engaged, and I'm more interactive and I'm more animated, so they take a lot more interest into it. Like for the past bit, I've been doing numbers, and I've been a bit bored, and I actually slept a bit too late, so I was kind of a bit tired, so I didn't have any energy. And that kind of transferred into the classroom, where the students were just kind of sitting there, not exactly paying attention and not really willing to do anything, because they saw that I was tired, and I wasn't bringing any energy to the activities, so it wasn't interesting to them. And as such, they didn't find it interesting as well. So one thing is definitely make it interesting for yourself, because what happens to you will happen to them as well. Yeah, there's that. And then one other, and then I was actually planning on doing this talk a lot earlier, because I watched the vlogs of a different person. He's Burnie Burns. He's the chief creative officer of Rooster Teeth, and he's I guess someone I respect a lot. I guess a role model of sorts. And I watched his video on about his little spiel on how to stay motivated, and I guess I agree with a lot of his stuff. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to watch it. It's actually pretty interesting, because one of the things he says is that motivation is actually not that important, or it's not that useful, because motivation is kind of what is it? Fickle as a pickle, I think. Yeah, it's just really fickle. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's not. And I agree with that, because there have been some days where I just didn't want to wake up, didn't want to go to work. I kind of just didn't have a drive to do anything. So yeah, there's that. And then he said that discipline is actually a lot better and a lot more useful in these scenarios, um, because it's kind of like a habit or routine that you get into, and once you get it going, you kind of don't want to stop because it's kind of like an achievement for yourself. Once, how he put it was that one of the things he did was he and this one of the things he did was that he marked it on an app or a calendar, something, of whenever he did something or whenever he did everything he needed to, he would check it off. And then once you start building up a lot of checks, he described it as it's you don't want to stop because you don't want to break that streak or you don't want to break that record. And I really agree with that because myself, I'm a really repetitive person. I like patterns and stuff. So once I like to build a pattern, I like to follow it and I don't like to break it. So this really works for me. I actually have a little calendar back at home where I mark on the calendar with a check mark every time I do all the things that I wanted to do. And so, yeah, that keeps me going. Yeah, and then, yeah. The difficult thing about that though is that it's hard to get started because in the first few days, you only see a couple of checks, so you feel that if you stop it right now, it won't have that much of an impact. But then the thing is, for me, I've actually ran into this problem as well. I had a couple of times where I had about a full week of checks where I did everything I wanted to the full week. And then the next day after that week, I was just like, maybe I can just slack off. It's only been 7 days, so I can pick it back up again. So that's what I did. And then I did that for the next couple of weeks. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks. And then it adds up. So 2 or 3 weeks, that is a month. Yeah. So, or three, yeah, that's close to a month or a month. So, yeah, I could have been doing all my stuff properly for that full month, but instead I kept going on and off my pattern or my routine. And so I didn't exactly develop that discipline to always do what I need to do. So, yeah, but now I've managed to kind of get into my routine again, get my discipline going. So I've been following that for now. Yeah, but that's definitely one of the ways I keep my drive for my work. Yeah, not solely through motivation. Yeah, because as I said before, as Burnie says, I think he heard it from someone else actually, but motivation is not entirely 100% guaranteed that you'll actually get something done. It's definitely useful, or it's definitely there, but it's not good to depend on it entirely. Yeah. But one other thing is how I stay driven to work is sometimes just pure inspiration from what other people have shown me. Yeah, sometimes I'm looking through the other classes and I see something that another teacher has done. So I see and I think, oh wow, that's gonna work really great. So that's how I get driven. I basically just start planning the lesson and it gives me energy because back to the first point, it makes me interested in the lesson and how I'm going to implement this little game or little activity. So yeah, that's one of the other things. So that's my little about 10-minute, 9.5 minute right now, about 10-minute little spiel on how to stay driven and how to keep your drive in doing work, not depending solely on motivation. So if any of you other SFU students happen to find this video, that's my little gift to you. Yeah, I'm doing a bit of work right now, but at the end of the video, I'm going to do a little announcement of sorts.